is something that I wish I knew sooner as a startup founder? That's a good one. I would definitely say I wish I knew sooner the power that's in rejection. And so, what do I mean by that? I'm gonna call it the injection of rejection, the power that's in the injection of rejection. So, I like to think of it as a vaccine, right? People, flu season comes around, we're gonna go get our flu vaccines. Your children, they have a series of vaccines that they have to get to avoid preventable diseases. And it's really a snapshot of that disease, right? So the flu is an injection of the flu. And you may not, it increases your chances of not contracting the flu, or what decreases your chances. Either way, you get the flu shot so you don't get the flu, right? You get that injection of the flu snapshot so that you don't get the flu when it starts to go around, because we all know that, hey, the flu during this particular time of the year, it goes around. The same for rejection. By nature, our egos, our brains, is just designed to keep us really safe. And rejection throws us out of that safety. It causes you to experience hurt, and it has an effect on your health as a whole because of it. And so the more of it that you get injected, the more immune to it you become, if that makes sense. So I wish someone would have told me that sooner, in the beginning of my journey. Like, hey, it's okay. You want to get that injection of rejection. But also, you have to be super conscious because, again, from experience, once I found that out, I want to get to all the no's I can, because I know the more no's I get, the law of probability states that I will get to a yes. It's a law. It's probability. It's math, it's science. So, we're on a race to get to those no's. Once I learned that 3 years in. But then I also noticed, because again, the way our brains are designed, that now I've become subconsciously a self-sabotager. Let me explain. I have subconsciously become a self-sabotager. Though I'm consciously going into these situations expecting a no. So now I'm not in the expectation of I'm going to receive a yes. I'm not in the expectation of really receiving the outcome that I would like to have, which is a yes, which is a sale, which is whatever, it is. I'm subconsciously sabotaging by missing deadlines for important events or accelerator programs, or investor meetups, because I'm really not in the expectation of receiving a yes. Now I've become, maybe the rejection on the surface level is not really hurting me as much as it used to, but I've developed this mechanism where, may I know it or not consciously, I'm really self-sabotaging. I'm really missing deadlines, or I'm really not putting my all into the application. I may wait last minute, saying, just procrastinating, because again, now I'm no longer in the expectation of receiving a yes. So I would say, take the injection of rejection. You do want to get that rejection, but you want to do it super consciously. Meaning you want to still go into it in the expectation of receiving that yes. And so with rejection, I like to tell people, it's like somebody tells you you have an ugly baby. Like, that's gonna hurt. But at the same time, or for instance, maybe later on, someone tells your child comes home from school, Mom, Dad, this kid called me ugly, and your daughter's feeling really down about that. You're gonna go out your way to make sure that your baby feels beautiful. And that's just with your baby that you've birthed and you're taking it out into the world. Like, coming through the birth canal, babies tend to get compressed and they may come out. If you've ever seen a newborn baby, right, they kind of look, foreign, a little alienish at times. And it's only because of the compression, the tight space that it had to come out of in the birth canal. But you get where I'm going with that. But as time goes on, the puffiness and the swelling goes down. The head kind of, get into a human looking head shape, and the bone structure sets in. And you look at your baby and you go, you know what? You were a little funny looking when I first had you. But it's 6 weeks later. It's 6 months later. Three years later. You know what? I was worried about you. But you turned out to be such a beautiful baby. Same thing with the baby you've birthed and whatever you've created out there to make a difference in the world that you're taking to the marketplace. So you may go into a meeting and that other person on the other end of wherever, on the stage you may be pitching to, or investors or whomever, they may not find the value, or they may not see the value in you or in the thing that you've created and built. But guess what? You better not let that make you lose sight of the value that's within yourself. So what do I mean about being super conscious about receiving the injection of rejection? Meaning, before you go into every meeting, you are going to have to step into the mirror first before you go into that meeting. Make sure you have ample enough time to look in the mirror and affirm and let yourself know who you are. You have to remind yourself that I am that girl, or I am him. Yes. And then you go into that meeting. And hey, again, they may or may not find the value in you or what you're doing. But again, because you've gone into that meeting knowing exactly who you are and knowing exactly the value that is within you, no harm, no foul. You keep it moving and you go on to the next one. Ask for feedback. I love feedback. Ask for feedback. Do you have to take it? No, but it's good, because a lot of the times the feedback is constructive. It's constructive, okay? So you want to take that, and you don't want to get into the habit of molding your baby to look like everyone wants that your baby to look, but just take in that constructive criticism. And so don't let that stop you. I know you may have gone through a couple of rejections and it hurts and it makes you want to, but don't sit in it. You have to do it ugly. But whatever you do or however you do it, you better do it in the expectation of yes. See you later.